Miley Cyrus has never been the kind of person who lets life catch her off guard. She's built her entire career on staying 5 steps ahead, controlling the narrative, owning every headline, and turning chaos into the fuel that keeps her legendary comeback streak alive. But this time, something happened that even she didn't see coming. Something that took her completely off balance, caught her with her guard down, and changed everything about the chapter she thought she was writing. And when she admitted that she completely surrendered, fans knew this wasn't just another celebrity engagement. This was something different, something deeper, something that shook the entire Miley universe from the inside out. Because while the world thought the story started on that December 1st red carpet, with Miley flashing a diamond ring, so bold it practically announced itself, the real story didn't begin there. It began weeks earlier, in another country, under circumstances no one knew about. And it was a moment Miley has now revealed in a way that sent fans reeling. But before that moment even came to light, she had already dropped hints, quiet ones, subtle ones, buried inside photos, captions, and gestures that only make sense now that the truth is out. And once fans connected the pieces, the entire timeline of her relationship with Maxx Morando suddenly looked completely different. Because this wasn't a random surprise. It was a culmination of 4 years of privacy, reinvention, music, growth, and a kind of stability Miley rarely lets the world see. A side of her that has been quietly building while everyone was busy talking about her past. And what happened next? Well, that's where things get even wilder. When Miley sat down on Good Morning America on December 3rd, no one expected her to casually drop the confirmation fans had been buzzing about for 48 hours. With a grin she couldn't hide, she acknowledged more congrats were in order, and suddenly the internet erupted. But the part that really set people off wasn't her confirmation. It was the way she compared her personal life to the release of Avatar. Fire and ash, like the two were perfectly syncing up in a way she hadn't planned but somehow made sense. That wording hit fans differently. It didn't just sound like a celebrity celebrating an engagement. It sounded like someone describing an era shift, like her life was lining up in ways she didn't even realize until it was already happening. And that's when the questions started. Why now? Why this moment? Why this man? But the answers didn't show up on the red carpet or in an interview. They started long before, on another continent, during a trip that no one thought twice about until Miley finally dropped the truth. When Miley explained that Maxx had proposed during their recent trip to Asia, fans instantly understood why the reveal felt so emotional. This wasn't a staged Hollywood moment or a choreographed, rose-covered setup. This was intimate, unexpected, completely outside the world Miley usually navigates. She admitted that Maxx actually got down on one knee, and the part that stunned fans the most was how she described her reaction. Miley, who openly admits she loves controlling every detail of her life, confessed that she had completely surrendered. She said she was so surprised, almost like she couldn't believe someone had managed to flip her world upside down without her sensing it coming. Rumors online suggest this wasn't just a surprise. It was a moment that symbolized a major emotional shift for her. Fans speculate that the reason she emphasized surrender is because this relationship operates differently from anything she's had before. Reports claim Miley has been intentionally letting go of the need to manage every outcome, especially when it comes to Maxx, because she trusts him in a way she hasn't trusted anyone in years. Whether that's true or just fan speculation, one thing is clear. This proposal wasn't just romantic. It was a turning point. But what really shook fans was realizing Miley had already shown the ring weeks earlier, and no one noticed. Back in November, Miley posted a set of photos from what looked like a casual birthday dinner. The lighting was warm, her smile was soft, and her hand, apparently wearing a diamond ring, was resting casually in frame. At the time, no one thought anything of it. But now, that image has fans spiraling, because Max's dad also posted pictures from that same night, congratulating the couple after the engagement went public. And that means something big. Miley had been wearing her engagement ring for weeks before the world even realized it. Fans looking back at the photos claim the ring is clearly visible, and some believe this was Miley's quiet way of experiencing the moment privately before it exploded into a headline. Others speculate that she wanted to test whether anyone would notice, almost like she was enjoying the privacy while she still had it. Whatever the reason, the hidden ring moment showed that Miley was done letting the world dictate the timeline of her personal life. She was moving on her own schedule, and this time, she wasn't letting anyone pull her into the spotlight before she was ready. But the decision to keep things quiet wasn't random. It ties into something Miley has been hinting at for over a year, something that explains why this engagement feels nothing like her past. Miley has been famous since the moment she could string a sentence together, and for years, her personal life played out in front of millions. From friendships to breakups to a marriage that dominated headlines for an entire decade, her relationships were never truly hers. They belonged to the public conversation. And after her split in 2019, fans noticed something change. Miley started guarding her life like it was her final line of defense. So when she told people that privacy has become something she's astounded she's been able to maintain, it revealed how important this relationship is to her. She didn't just choose a new romantic partner, she chose a new way of living. Reports suggest Miley has been intentionally avoiding the chaos of public speculation by keeping her relationship with Max as low-key as possible. Some online commentary claims she wanted to avoid repeating the extreme exposure that shaped her past. Fans believe she's learned the value of protecting what matters before sharing it, and this engagement timeline proves it. Instead of a flashy announcement, she kept the biggest moment of her recent years silent, shared only with the people in the room. And that silence speaks louder than any headline. But what makes this couple so solid? To answer that, you have to go back to the beginning, before the ring, before the songs, before the world even knew they were dating. Few people know this, but Miley and Max didn't meet through the industry chaos or a Hollywood event. They met on a blind date. Just two people thrown together with no expectations, no cameras, and no pressure to impress anyone but each other. And according to insiders, the connection was instant, not just romantically, but creatively. Because Max isn't just a partner. He's a musician with his own vision, his own world, and a personality Miley says mirrors hers in all the best ways. Instead of clashing with her bold energy, he balances it. Instead of competing with her spotlight, he supports it. And instead of taking life too seriously, he shares her sense of humor and spontaneity. Fans believe this balance is what makes the relationship work. He's not trying to shape her career or reinvent her image. He's just part of her world, and she's part of his. And that world slowly started blending into her music. When Miley released her Grammy-nominated album, Something Beautiful, fans saw it as a mature, emotional evolution, one that showcased a softer vulnerability she had kept hidden for years. What they didn't realize at first was that Max was a major part of it. He didn't just collaborate on the project, he became woven into its core. The title track includes a tribute so gentle and intimate that listeners now replay it with new meaning. Tell me something beautiful, you're who I belong to. Fans suspected the lyrics were about Max long before the engagement confirmation, and now they're convinced. Some online rumors suggest Max's influence helped Miley rediscover the emotional clarity she had been searching for since leaving her old era behind. Others think his calm nature grounded the chaos of Miley's creative process, giving her space to build something deeper. Whatever the truth is, their artistic bond became the foundation for something much bigger, something that reached far beyond the studio. Sources told E! News that Miley's family loves them together, and fans immediately understood how major that is. Miley's family has witnessed every high and low of her public relationships. Their approval isn't casual, it's earned. People close to the family say the chemistry between Miley and Max feels natural, balanced, and healthy. And that approval gave fans reassurance that this engagement wasn't rushed, chaotic, or reactionary. It was stable, real, built on years of quiet growth instead of months of headlines. But no matter how much support Miley gets now, her past will always shape the way fans interpret these new moments. And in this case, her past makes this engagement hit even harder. Miley's relationship history is one of the most dissected in modern pop culture. Her decade-long on and off love story dominated the internet for years. And when it finally ended in 2019, fans watched Miley rebuild herself piece by piece. This engagement isn't part of that old narrative. It's not tied to heartbreak, reinvention, rebellion, or recovery. It feels like the first moment in Miley's adult life where the world isn't watching her pick up the pieces, it's watching her evolve. Rumors online suggest that fans see Maxx as the start of Miley's peace era, a time where she's no longer chasing stability, but actually living in it. And while no one knows what the future holds, one thing is clear: Miley is choosing this life, this relationship, this version of herself. And for once, she doesn't need the world to understand why. From a secret proposal in Asia to the quiet ring reveal in November, this engagement shows how much Miley has changed and how much she's grown. It's not about shock value or headlines. It's about choosing a life that feels real, grounded, and fully aligned with who she is now. She's not running from the past. She's not trying to rewrite it. She's just living differently. And now fans are wondering, if this is the beginning of a new era in Miley's personal life, what kind of impact will it have on her next musical chapter? Because if history has taught us anything, it's this: when Miley Cyrus steps into a new version of herself, the world always hears it.